I, 29F, never imagined I'd be sharing my story on Reddit, but here I am. 5 years ago, I met Tristan, 32M, at a mutual friend's barbecue. He was charming, funny, and we hit it off immediately. We started dating casually, nothing too serious. I was focused on my career as a marketing manager, and Tristan was always talking about his plans to start his own business. Our relationship lasted only a couple of months. We had different priorities and lifestyles, so we decided to go our separate ways amicably. Or so I thought. Little did I know, I was already pregnant. I found out about the pregnancy a few weeks after we broke up. I was scared and confused. My parents had always been very traditional, and I knew they wouldn't be thrilled about their unmarried daughter having a baby. But I also knew they'd support me no matter what. I come from a close-knit family. My older sister, Laura, 34F, has always been my best friend and confidant. When I found out I was pregnant, Laura was the first person I called. She came over immediately, held my hand, and helped me process the news. It was Laura who encouraged me to reach out to Tristan, saying he deserved to know and that we should discuss our options together. I nervously dialed Tristan's number, hoping for support or at least a mature discussion about our situation. His response shattered those hopes. "Take care of it," he said coldly. "I'm not ready to be a father." Then he blocked my number. I was devastated. I spent the next few days in a daze, trying to figure out what to do. Laura and my parents rallied around me. My mom, despite her initial shock, told me that whatever I decided, they would support me. My dad, usually stoic, hugged me and said, "You're stronger than you know, sweetheart." After much soul-searching, I decided to keep the baby. It wasn't an easy choice, but it felt right for me. The pregnancy was tough. Morning sickness hit me hard, and I was worried about managing my job. But my boss was understanding, and my coworkers stepped up to help when I needed it. On a rainy Tuesday in March, my beautiful daughter Lily came into the world. The moment I held her, I knew I'd made the right decision. My parents fell in love with her instantly, and Laura appointed herself as the coolest aunt ever. For the past 5 years, Tristan has been completely absent from our lives. No child support, no visits, not even a birthday card. I sent him a birth announcement and photos of Lily, hoping he might have a change of heart. But they went unanswered. After a while, I stopped trying. Lily doesn't know Tristan as her father. She just knows that some kids have dads and some don't. When she asked about her dad for the first time, I simply told her that he wasn't ready to be a father. It broke my heart, but I didn't want to lie to her. Life as a single mom hasn't been easy, but we've managed. I worked hard and got promoted at my job, which allowed me to provide a comfortable life for Lily. We have our routines, Saturday morning pancakes, Sunday trips to the park, and bedtime stories every night. Lily is a happy, curious child who loves animals and wants to be a vet when she grows up. 2 months ago, out of the blue, I received a message from Tristan. "I've changed," he wrote. "I want to be part of Lily's life." At first, I was cautiously optimistic. Maybe he'd grown up and realized what he'd been missing. After discussing it with Laura, who advised caution, I agreed to meet him for coffee to discuss the situation. That meeting changed everything. Tristan didn't seem interested in getting to know Lily or understanding her needs. Instead, he immediately started talking about custody arrangements and his rights as a father. When I pointed out that he wasn't even on Lily's birth certificate, he became angry and threatened to take me to court. I was shocked and confused. Why, after 5 years of total absence, was he suddenly so adamant about being involved? It didn't add up. Tristan had never struck me as the paternal type. Even when we were dating, he'd always said he didn't want kids. Then last week, I ran into Tristan's cousin, Emily, at the grocery store. Emily and I had been friendly during my brief relationship with Tristan, but we'd lost touch over the years. She didn't know about the situation with Lily and started chatting about Tristan's recent marriage. Apparently, his new wife, Megan, 30F, had always wanted children but couldn't have any of her own due to medical issues. That's when it clicked. Tristan didn't want to be a father to Lily. He wanted a child for his new wife. I was furious and scared. I couldn't believe he'd try to use our daughter as a replacement child for his wife. Lily has never met this man, and now he wants to disrupt her life for his own selfish reasons. It brought back memories of how callously he treated me during my pregnancy, and I felt sick to my stomach. I've contacted a lawyer, but I'm worried. Does Tristan have any legal standing here? Can he really just waltz back into our lives and demand custody after 5 years of abandonment? I'm prepared to fight with everything I have to protect my daughter, but I'm terrified of the impact this could have on her. Lily is a sensitive child. She gets upset when her routine is disrupted, and it takes her time to warm up to new people. The thought of forcing her into a relationship with a stranger who happens to be her biological father makes me anxious. What if she feels rejected all over again if Tristan loses interest? I need advice, support, or just someone to tell me I'm not crazy for wanting to keep my ex far away from our daughter. I've worked so hard to create a stable, loving environment for Lily. The idea that Tristan could swoop in and undo all of that terrifies me. Has anyone been through something similar? What should I do next? How do I protect Lily while also being fair? I'm lost and could really use some guidance. Update 1. It's been a month since my last post, and a lot has happened. First, I want to thank everyone for their support and advice. Reading your comments made me feel less alone and gave me the strength to take action. After my initial post, I had a long talk with my sister Laura. She reminded me of how Tristan had treated me during the pregnancy and pointed out that his sudden interest seemed suspicious. Laura offered to help in any way she could, even suggesting she could take time off work to help watch Lily if needed. Her support meant the world to me. Following the advice of many commenters, I decided to be proactive and contacted a lawyer specializing in family law. The lawyer, Maria, listened to my story and assured me that Tristan's absence for 5 years would work in my favor. She advised filing for sole legal and physical custody of Lily, citing Tristan's abandonment and lack of involvement. We spent the next week gathering evidence: old text messages from Tristan refusing involvement, copies of the birth announcements and birthday invitations I'd sent him over the years, and statements from friends and family who could testify to his absence in Lily's life. My parents provided a letter detailing how they'd been present for every milestone in Lily's life, unlike Tristan. 2 weeks after we filed, Tristan was served with the papers. His reaction was worse than I expected. He showed up at my workplace, causing a scene in the lobby and demanding to see Lily. He was yelling about his rights as a father and how I couldn't keep his child from him. I was thankful I'd warned my boss about the situation. She immediately called security while my coworker, Rachel, ushered me into a conference room away from the commotion. After the incident at my workplace, Maria advised filing for a temporary restraining order, which was granted. The judge agreed that Tristan's behavior was erratic and potentially dangerous. This order meant Tristan couldn't come near me, my home, or Lily's school. It was a relief, but also made everything feel more real and scary. Throughout all of this, I've been trying my best to shield Lily from the stress. I arranged for her to spend more time with my parents, who she adores. They've been taking her on fun outings to the zoo and the children's museum, keeping her occupied and happy. I've also started her in play therapy, just to give her a safe space to express any feelings or confusion she might have about the changes in our routine. The most shocking development came last week. Maria received a call from Tristan's attorney, trying to negotiate. Their offer left me speechless. They proposed dropping any custody claims if I agreed to let Lily spend weekends with Tristan and Megan, and if I would allow Megan to co-parent Lily. They even suggested that Lily could call Megan Mom. I was absolutely furious. I couldn't believe the audacity of their proposal. It was clear they saw Lily as some sort of prop for their family, not as a real person with feelings and needs. I flat out refused their offer. There's no way I'm letting my daughter be used as some sort of part-time child for Tristan and Megan's marriage. Maria advised me that their offer actually strengthens our case, as it shows their true motives aren't about Tristan building a relationship with Lily. This whole situation has been taking a toll on me. I've been having trouble sleeping, constantly worried about what Tristan might do next. Laura has been staying with us a few nights a week, which helps me feel safer and gives me someone to talk to. My parents have also been incredible, offering emotional support and helping with Lily whenever I need it. At work, I've had to confide in my boss about the situation. Thankfully, she's been understanding and has allowed me to work from home some days when things get overwhelming. My coworkers have also rallied around me, offering to cover for me when I need to meet with my lawyer or attend court hearings. Lily, bless her heart, has been resilient through all of this. She's noticed that I've been stressed and has been extra affectionate lately, often bringing me her favorite stuffed animal to make mommy feel better. Her innocence and love keep me going on the toughest days. I'm feeling more confident about our legal standing, but I'm still worried about the emotional toll this might take on Lily if it drags on. The court date for the custody hearing is set for next month. I'm nervous, but ready to fight for my daughter. Maria has been preparing me for what to expect, but the thought of facing Tristan in court makes my stomach churn. Despite all the stress and uncertainty, I know I'm doing the right thing. Lily deserves stability and love, not to be thrust into a situation with virtual strangers who see her as a solution to their problems. I'm her mother, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect her. I'll update again after the hearing. Thank you all again for your support and advice. It means more than you know. Update 2. The custody hearing was yesterday, and I have some news to share. It was a long and emotionally draining day, but I feel like we've made progress. The day started early. I woke up feeling nervous but determined. Laura came over to help me get ready and to watch Lily. As I was leaving, Lily gave me a big hug and said, "You look pretty, Mommy." It was just what I needed to boost my confidence. When we arrived at the courthouse, I was surprised to see how many people had come to support me. My parents were there, of course, along with a few close friends, and even some of my coworkers who had taken the day off. Their presence meant everything to me. The hearing began, and our lawyer, Maria, presented our case first. She outlined my history as Lily's sole caregiver, providing evidence of the stable home environment I've created. She presented documentation of Tristan's absence over the years, including the unanswered birth announcements and birthday invitations. One of the most powerful moments came when my mom testified. She spoke about how she'd been present for Lily's birth, her first steps, her first words, all the milestones that Tristan had missed. She described how Lily was thriving in her current environment and how disruptive it would be to suddenly introduce a stranger as her father. The judge, a stern-looking woman in her 60s, listened attentively and asked thoughtful questions. She seemed particularly interested in understanding why Tristan had been absent for so long and what had prompted his sudden interest. When it was Tristan's turn to speak, he tried to paint himself as a changed man who had matured and wanted to make things right. He talked about how becoming a husband had made him realize the importance of family. However, he slipped up when the judge asked him about Lily's interests and daily routine. He couldn't answer any specific questions about her, which made it clear he hadn't made any real effort to get to know her. The real turning point came when an unexpected witness arrived. Tristan's ex-girlfriend, Tara, 31F. I had no idea she was coming, but apparently, she had reached out to Maria after seeing my original post shared on social media. Tara's testimony was emotional and powerful. She revealed that Tristan had gotten her pregnant around the same time as me, and he had also pressured her to take care of it. Unlike me, she had gone through with an abortion, which she now regrets. She described how Tristan had been manipulative and unsupportive, only concerned about how a baby would impact his life and plans. Her testimony really highlighted Tristan's pattern of behavior and lack of responsibility. It was hard to hear, but it reinforced that I had made the right decision in keeping Tristan away from Lily all these years. The judge seemed visibly moved by Tara's testimony. She asked Tristan several pointed questions about his past behavior and his current motivations. Tristan struggled to provide satisfactory answers, often contradicting himself or becoming defensive. After a short recess, the judge returned with her ruling. She granted me sole legal and physical custody of Lily. Tristan was denied visitation rights for now, with the judge stating that any future visitation would need to be supervised and gradually introduced, contingent on Tristan attending parenting classes and proving his commitment over time. The judge emphasized that stability and continuity were in Lily's best interests, and that introducing Tristan into her life at this point, especially given his questionable motives, would be potentially harmful. I felt an overwhelming sense of relief when the ruling was announced. Tears of joy and relief streamed down my face as I hugged Maria and then my family. It felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. However, that relief was short-lived. As we were leaving the courthouse, I overheard Tristan telling Megan that this wasn't over and that they would find another way to complete their family. It sent chills down my spine. Despite the legal victory, I realized that this might not be the end of our troubles. I'm glad we won this battle, but I have a feeling. The war isn't over. I'm going to stay vigilant and continue to do everything I can to protect Lily. Maria suggested we look into moving to a new home, just to be safe. It's a big step, but I'm seriously considering it. For now, I'm focusing on helping Lily adjust to the changes in our routine. The play therapy seems to be helping, and I'm doing my best to maintain a sense of normalcy for her. I'm also thinking about how and when I'll eventually explain all of this to her when she's older. Thank you all for your continued support. I'll update again if anything significant happens. Update 3. It's been 6 months since my last update, and I wanted to share some final thoughts on this situation. A lot has changed, mostly for the better. After the court hearing, Tristan and Megan seemed to back off for a while. We didn't hear from them directly, which was a relief. However, about 2 months ago, I started noticing unfamiliar cars parked near our house and Lily's school. I couldn't prove it was them, but my gut told me they were watching us. It was unsettling, to say the least. After discussing the situation with my family and Maria, I decided it was time to make some significant changes. We moved to a new house in a gated community about an hour away from our old place. It was a big decision, and I worried about uprooting Lily. But it felt necessary for our safety and peace of mind. The move itself was challenging. Lily was upset about leaving her friends and her familiar surroundings. I enlisted the help of a child psychologist to help her process the changes. We also made the move into an adventure, letting Lily choose the color for her new room and buying her a puppy she'd been asking for. Slowly but surely, she's settling into our new home. She loves having a bigger backyard to play in and has already made a few friends in the neighborhood. I also made a career change. I found a new job that allows me to work from home most of the time. It was a lateral move in terms of my career, but the flexibility and peace of mind it provides are worth it. Being able to be home when Lily returns from school has been wonderful for both of us. As for Tristan, we haven't heard directly from him or Megan. Maria informed me that they tried to appeal the court's decision but were denied. The judge stood firm on her original ruling, emphasizing that Tristan needed to show genuine commitment to being a father before any changes in custody or visitation would be considered. A few weeks ago, Maria called with some disturbing news. Tristan was recently arrested for harassing another woman who apparently looks a lot like me. He had been following her and trying to talk to her about their daughter. It's scary to think what might have happened if we hadn't moved. I'm grateful for the restraining order and the decision to relocate. This incident only reinforces that we made the right choice in keeping Lily away from Tristan. Lily is doing great, all things considered. The play therapy has really helped her adjust to all the changes. She's made new friends in our new neighborhood and is excited about starting kindergarten soon. She still asks about why we moved sometimes. But she seems to accept my explanations that it was for a new job and a bigger house. She still doesn't know the full story about Tristan, and I'm not sure when or if I'll ever tell her. That's a bridge we'll cross when we come to it. For now, I'm focusing on ensuring she feels loved, secure, and happy. As for me, I've started dating again, casually. It's nice to have some adult company, but Lily remains my priority. My new boyfriend, Mark, 34M, is understanding and patient, which I appreciate. He knows about my situation with Tristan and respects the boundaries I've set regarding Lily. We're taking things slow, and Mark hasn't met Lily yet. I want to be sure about our relationship before introducing anyone new into her life. My family has been incredibly supportive throughout this entire ordeal. My parents visit often, and Laura calls almost daily to check in on us. Their love and support have been a constant source of strength for me. Looking back, I'm proud of how I handled this situation. It was tough, but I stood my ground and protected my daughter. There were moments when I doubted myself or felt overwhelmed, but I never gave up. To anyone going through something similar, stay strong and don't be afraid to ask for help. You know what's best for your child, and you have more strength than you realize. I'm cautiously optimistic about our future. While I know we can never completely let our guard down, I feel like we've turned a corner. Lily is thriving, I'm feeling more secure in our new home, and we're building a life full of love and happiness. This will be my final update on this situation. Thank you all for your support throughout this journey. Your kind words, advice, and encouragement meant the world to me during some very dark times. I hope our story can provide some hope or guidance to others in similar situations.